Hey YouTube, say YouTube. It's your girl Janaea J, and we biggity back with another video. Today we are in the kitchen, you guys. We're gonna be making Sunday dinner, and what's on the menu for tonight is fried pork chops, macaroni and cheese, collard greens, and some cornbread. That sounds so good. I know it sounds good. So what this video is basically going to be about is I'm going to be showing you how to cook this stuff, the recipe that I'm using, the seasonings, and all that type of stuff. So we're going to get right into this video. But before we do, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to share this video because you never know, somebody else might want to learn how to cook this dish. Don't be stingy now. Let's all share. So let's get right into this video. I'm going to be playing some music in the background, so hopefully we can get into the vibe. Let's get into it. So at this point, I'm just washing my hands because we still in a pandemic and we have to wash our hands. Even if we wasn't in a pandemic, still wash your hands before you cook. That's the best way to do it. So from here, we're going to dry my hands, and then we're going to start off with the collard greens, y'all. Because them take the longest to cook. Collard greens take about 2 hours to 30 minutes max. So I got the collard greens in a bag. They already cut and fresh. So I'm just going to put them up in this pot right here. I'm going to just fill the collard greens all the way up to the top, because as they start cooking, it start getting lower and lower. Like the greens get softer, so they get lower. So with this part, I'm just showing you how full I made it so you can make it all the way to the pot. Of course, if you're cooking for a bigger family, use a bigger pot. But as you can see, it's only me, so I'm just cooking for, myself in a little pot. I'm rinsing my greens off. Want to get all that extra residue or whatever comes on there. Like I said, I'm not perfect in cooking, but I know a little something. So don't expertise what I'm saying, but I know what I'm talking about. So I'm rinsing my greens off right here. Vibing. I was going to show y'all, but I'm like, let me just pick the camera up and show y'all. As y'all can see, them are some fresh green cut greens. Turn this fire on. We're going to get it started with some seasoning. As you can see, we got some regular seasoning salt, some garlic salt, some black pepper, and some Creole seasoning. You can basically use that for anything. It just give it an extra spice. You want to mess with it a little bit, poke it, make sure it gets some juices. It looks pretty good. Like, them greens look like it's gonna be so good. And most people put meat and stuff in their greens, but I didn't have the meat, so I just said let's do it regular. And we're gonna add the top on them greens and let them cook for about 2 hours. Moving on to our pork chops. Yes, sir. Sorry, vegan eaters. These are for the meat lovers. So what I'm doing right here is just basically I'm about to be cleaning these pork chops off. And we're going to get that started right now. So as I'm rinsing these pork chops off, I'm just thinking how good these pork chops are about to be. Oh my God. So I had to smack it 1 time, 2 times, matter of fact. For real, look at that thick thing. Ooh. Oh my God. Gotta rinse these pork chops off really good. I be seeing people rinse their meat off with soap and all that. Look, I'm not about to be doing all that because my stomach gonna be hurting. But yeah, hey. Just vibing. So the seasonings I'm going to be using, y'all, is the regular seasoning salt again. Like I said, like all this is basic seasoning for basic cookers who love to cook but really teaching themselves how to cook. So we got the garlic salt, and we got the black pepper. And then I just thought about this at the last minute because I use it for my fried chicken. So I'm like, hey, why not bring in some mustard as well too? Ooh, ooh. Let's shake that up a little bit. Alright. And then we just gonna blend in the seasoning. Flip, flop, floppity, wop, wop, pop, pop. Doop, 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 bop, sleep, bleep, bleep, eat. You know, mix in your seasoning with your meat. And I'm actually going to let this meat sit for a while because we also have other sides to cook. And like I said, the greens is going to take a while. Hey, 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 I be so in the vibe, man. I swear. I love cooking. I hope you guys in the vibe with me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, y'all, and stay tuned. Don't go nowhere because I want y'all to see how the results came out. And we're going to add some parsley to that. Give it a little razzle dazzle. You know, you got to concentrate with this stuff. It done had a little hose, and I still ended up pouring a lot. Like, dang. But it's okay. We just going to flip, flat, flat, flip, you know? Gonna make it work. I'm going to show y'all how it's going to look. Watch. Trust me. I know what I'm doing. Trust the process, y'all. Trust the process. Nobody told me this, but I do that. Type shit. And this how they came out. You know, they looking real good, real delicious. They are seasoned to perfection for me. So we're going to let that sit. Now our greens are bubbling. I just wanted to show y'all, you know, we got them going. They smelling good a little bit, you know. The seasoning starting to hit the aroma. And then we're going to move on to our macaroni and cheese. Now, Velveeta is the closest macaroni and cheese to me that's close to homemade. So that's what we're going for. And I'm just showing you, you know, I put my water halfway in the pot and I just add some salt to it. You bring your water to a boil and then you put your noodles in. You don't want to put your noodles in when it's not boiling because that's when it gets sticky. You don't want your noodles to be sticky. I just poured it in, stirred it up a little bit. You know, make sure that salt get into the shell so it can have some taste, and then cover it up with a top until it cooks. As you can see, it is pretty done. They look pretty thick. They not hard. Our greens is still cooking. They getting soft. As you can tell, they not looking so crunchy. You know, they getting lower in the pot. You remember they was filled up. You see our chicken in the back on the plate. So we just gonna add some milk and cheese to that macaroni and cheese because it's done now. Some people have a strainer, but if you don't have a strainer, just use what you got or do what you gotta do. But just make sure the water is poured out. See, just make sure the water is poured out. Like, you don't want no watery noodles. Yuck. That's that pack of cheese. And I'm going to just pour that in there and stir it up. And I kind of like don't like this angle. So I was thinking about switching y'all or whatever. So that's what I'm going to do in a second. So we just adding a little bit of black pepper. We adding black pepper into it. But if that's not enough, we gonna add some more stuff to it. That ain't it. I just need a little bit more black pepper because that just wasn't enough for me. So at this point, I'm just stirring it, getting it all good. I'm gonna show you what it looks like right now. But if you wanted to make it look more fancy, you can add some more stuff to it. Okay, that ain't all. We're going to add some more cheese to it. This is if you want to make it look more good, and if you want to bake it. That's what we about to do. Since we just put it on, we cooked it on top of the stove. Now we about to bake it, add some parsley flakes, and get it going. And I'm going to show y'all how it looked before it go in the oven. This shit is going to be so good. Like, it's not hard, y'all. Just follow the steps. I'm going to have it in the description below, step by step. It is so easy. Your man, your kids, anybody that you cook this dish for is going to be happy. Now we're going to cook our pork chops. At this point, I'm like, all right now, we almost done. Make sure you got some fresh oil. We got our flour in our bag. I don't know how you guys flour y'all meat, but I put mine in a bag. I don't like to flour my meat inside the flour bag. Just no, it don't work for me and it's unsanitary. I had a hole in my bag, so I had to get a second bag. So I'm like, alright. Most people season their chicken as well, but I didn't season they flour. Sorry, guys. Most people season their flour, but I didn't season my flour because my pork chop is pretty well seasoned, so I just threw them in there. You just want to make sure the flour get all over the chicken because why do I keep calling it chicken? Pork chop. Oh my God. You want to make sure the flour get all over the pork chop because you want the pork chop to be like golden brown, crunchy all over. Something like this, y'all. Just make sure it's all over where you don't see no meat. And then when your fire When your oil get hot, you put that pork chop in that thing and it comes to a boil. While that's cooking, we're going to start with our cornbread. With our cornbread, you want to add some milk and 1 egg. That's all you need. If you don't have milk, you can substitute with water. But I feel if you put water, you're going to have to add some extra stuff to make it sweet. But you don't want to cook no cornbread if you don't have milk. But if you just really need to cook that cornbread, it is okay to use water. So I'm just whipping it up, you know. Whipping it, whipping it, whipping it. Still vibing to my music, like I'm jamming at this point. And for some reason, when you twist the bowl and stir, I feel so much better. Like I get everything when I do that. So I don't know. I feel a little fancy when I do that. That might be a little tip you can use. No, but it do get all the cornbread and stuff from the corners, so that's why I do that, seriously. And this is how it's supposed to turn out, like not too thick, not too watery. It look like basically whipped. You can whip it. And I still have a couple of lumps in there, but it's okay. It is okay, because it's still going to come out good. Our chicken is ready to be flipped. As you can see, that's that nice golden color. And our fire is hot. Back to our cornbread. Hey, 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 hey. Alright, now we about to add some butter, because that's where the taste come from, is the butter. So do not be stingy with your butter. I know fat comes from butter, but it's okay. You see what we got going on in this kitchen? We ain't worrying about nobody weight. So add some butter in that thing. And preferably, like I said, people put sugar, but personally me, I don't need to. My cornbread come out sweet just the way I make it. Like, no kidding. Oh my God, y'all. I don't know who I thought I was. I thought I was Chef J at this point, because I was moving extra fast. And I was trying to show y'all basically to just, ooh, see, that's what I'm talking about. Move real quick. I was trying to show y'all the butter just supposed to be all over the pan. And I ended up burning my hand. But it's okay. I'm a thug. I thugged it out. And I kept moving forward with cooking my cornbread. Because ain't no good meal without a cornbread, you know? Especially if you got greens. And that's how it looks after I pour it in there. We're going to add it to the oven and let that cook for about 25 to 30 minutes. Make sure it's golden brown. My last chicken is done frying, so we about to take this out. Ooh, I am so happy. Both sides are cooked to perfection. Looking so good. Okay, so the chicken is done. At this point, the cornbread is done, and we just gotta add some butter to that thing. See, that's all I add butter to my cornbread, like at the bottom, in the middle, on top. That's where the sweetness come from, and it be so good. All that extra stuff people be talking about, yeah, that's just some fancy shit. All right, so at this point, I'm just cutting my cornbread into rectangles and whatever. I'm gonna add more butter, and I'm gonna show you guys the end result when I fix up my plate. Cause let me tell you, this kitchen is smelling so good right now, like so good, and my stomach is grumbling. So here you guys go. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.